premio Nobel per la ricerca, come si chiama questo? Yamanaka. Ma nessuno di voi ha parlato del premio Nobel per la medicina 2013, non 1980. Sapete cosa scrive questo signore? Dice che le principali riviste scientifiche internazionali, Nature, Cell e Science, sono paragonate a tirannie. Pubblicano in base all'appeal mediatico di uno studio piuttosto che alla sua reale rilevanza. Queste riviste sono capaci di cambiare il destino di un ricercatore e di una ricerca, influenzando le scelte di governi e istituzioni. Non lo dico io, lo dice il premio Nobel della medicina.
Aware that your words have had a big echo in Italy among the Stamina Foundation supporter?
That's alarming. My words have been twisted by the group in support of the Stamina we call quacks, sometimes called snake oil salesmen, people who are selling medicines that have not been validated in laboratory, and so this outfit that's trying to do this in Italy is they're basically, I think I consider them a rogue operation that is preying on the vulnerable families who are desperate to have some treatment for their afflicted family members. This is really the sort of worst kind of manipulation. I guess the Italian government has taken a hard stand against them, and I absolutely support the government in this case. My criticism of nature and science had absolutely nothing to do with papers in the journal that were critical of this stem cell treatment. In fact, the journals do publish very important papers. It's just their editorial policy that I'm arguing with. It's certainly not any individual paper. I think my views have been misrepresented by people who are trying to support this Stamina program.
How do you feel generally about having been involved in this very Italian affair, and what do you think about the country at the light of all this?
It's not specific to Italy, as I've indicated. This kind of false promise has been made in many countries, in the West or in the developing world. Wherever people are interested in making fame and fortune for themselves, they're going to they're going to take advantage of people. And I don't think it reflects poorly on Italy that this has happened in Italy, because it's happened in the U.S. too. I've seen other controversies of this sort, exposés of basically phony clinics offering miraculous cures based on adult stem cells, and I think most of it is simply indefensible. One must be very skeptical that it has any basis.
Do you know that at the moment 34 patients are still being treated with the Stamina method here in Italy, in a city called Brescia, as a consequence of a political before and then juridical decision? And what do you think about that?
Well, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and I feel sorry for the victims who are given false hope. I mean, it's not to say this treatment may actually be. It could be real. There could be some validity, but until he tested, one must be very skeptical. And the skepticism comes not just from the fact that it hasn't been properly tested, as far as I'm aware, but because of adult stem cells, as opposed to embryonic stem cells, have a very limited ability to differentiate into a particular kind of tissue. They are not generally able to differentiate into tissues of very different origin. And so to promote a treatment of this sort using adult stem cells already would draw a great deal of suspicion among the knowledgeable people. And I gather that one of the experts in the topic, this fellow Yamanaka from Japan, who has done pioneering work on the derivation of embryonic stem cells, has come out very critically against this Stamina program. And he is certainly a voice of reason and expert knowledge in the topic. So I would support anything that he said about this. And just, I'm telling you, and I'm sure he said it as well, There are a lot of quacks out there, and this guy may be just another quack.
Well, you received this email from one of the 34
Oh,
patients' father. Do you think
no.
you're gonna answer that?
Well, I'm conflicted because obviously he's anguished about his child. I can, if I were a parent, I would be desperate to do anything too. But he may not be a scientist. He's going to say, look, it works for his child. That's good enough for him. Well, it may not actually work for his child. It may have the appearance of working, but it may have no long-term benefit. In fact, it could even be toxic. I don't even say that would give him any comfort, and I don't know that I could persuade him either. But I certainly, if I do respond, I'll certainly tell him that my words on this issue cannot be construed as support for the stamina program. It is far from that, and it has nothing to do with my criticism of the editorial policy of Nature. I would give my compassion to them, and my heart goes out to them. I know illness. My mother and sister died of cancer. My wife is afflicted with Parkinson's disease now and has dementia. And, I would, as much as this anguished father, I wish there were stem cell treatments for these diseases, but they don't exist yet. And just wishing that they were so is not going to make it happen. It's going to take more research. And so, to the extent that the Italian government can do anything, it can support basic science, which I fear is not adequately supported in Italy.